Next on Worcester News tonight, honoring the men and women across the country who answer emergency calls and give life-saving advice. Plus, a WPI student makes a debut on national television, competing on Jeopardy. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. We begin with an update on the man held in connection to the case of a woman found dead inside a burning car in Worcester's Hope Cemetery last December. The Telegram and Gazette reports during Wednesday's arraignment of Stephen Foley, a prosecutor told the judge blood found under the floorboards at a Northborough home matched Cynthia Webb's DNA. The Telegram reports the prosecutor said Foley's girlfriend owns the house but was away on a business trip at the time. Authorities say Foley told people he was there when Webb was killed, but he didn't kill her and only disposed of her body. Foley was held on $250,000 cash bail on a charge of maliciously damaging a motor vehicle. He's due back in court May 11th. It's been months since Hurricane Maria tore through Puerto Rico. With the island still working to rebuild, Greater Worcester Our Revolution hosts an evening in solidarity with Puerto Rico Wednesday. The event, which featured live local musicians, raffles, and a buffet, gave those in attendance a chance to learn more information about the island and people of Puerto Rico, who are left to rebuild. Event organizers say it's important to keep the island in the conversation.
In general, the disasters tend to kind of fade into the past, whereas the people of Puerto Rico are still suffering. If it happened in another state, there would have been all this money forthcoming from the federal government. It's not been coming. It's definitely important to keep these events going.
All proceeds from the event will go to Amara Para Puerto Rico, who will donate funds to the island to help rebuild, as well as help those who have come to Worcester to resettle. Keep an eye on episodes of Jeopardy this week, as it will feature a Shrewsbury native representing Worcester Polytechnic Institute. Allie Ross, a sophomore at WPI, has been a fan of the show for years after her grandmother first introduced it to her. She says she's been chosen to audition for the show 2 times in the past, but it was this year she was selected to appear on national television.
I wish I could go back and do it again. It was so much fun. Even though we were only there in the studio for 2 days, all of us contestants are still in touch. Now that the episodes are airing, actually, we're having a lot of fun seeing what people are saying about us online and sharing those kind of memories and stuff.
Now, whether Allie walked away with victory will remain a mystery until the episode airs this Friday. She says she definitely wants to pursue other game show opportunities, possibly Who Wants to Be a Millionaire next. One of the first phone calls someone makes when faced with an emergency is often 911. But who's the person on the other end? Some dispatchers say they often receive little thanks, but know they make a difference in people's lives. This week is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, and it's honoring the work that they do. Our Brittany Schaefer spoke with dispatchers and has more.
South County 911, this call is being recorded. Where is your emergency?
Before police officers, firefighters, or EMS arrive on scene of an emergency, it's the 911 dispatchers who answer the call for help.
Taking all the information down, providing pre-arrival instruction, and essentially information on how to keep themselves safe. And a lot of times it's a thankless job.
Greg Linsky is the South Worcester County Communications Center Director servicing Webster and Dudley. They receive 33,000 calls a year. Linsky says it takes a special kind of person to be a dispatcher.
A lot of people think it's for them and find out that it's not. It takes a person who has a lot of compassion, a lot of patience, and most importantly, the ability to remain calm under stress.
The Worcester Regional Emergency Communications Center receives up to 400 calls every day.
We are one of the busiest communications center in New England.
Linsky says there is a major nationwide shortage of dispatchers. Both Worcester and South Worcester County Communications Centers are currently understaffed.
We currently have 2 vacant positions out of our 10. We're in fairly good shape compared to a lot of places. A lot of places have 30 to 40% vacancy rate. It is very challenging to find a person who will be successful in this career.
You need to be trained, and there's so much responsibility that goes into it that As a new person, you have to push yourself through it.
And although many are forced to work overtime to fill the gaps, Barbara Bouchard says she wouldn't want to do any other job.
When I leave at the end of the day, I know that I have made a difference. I've made some sort of positive impact on someone's worst day. I love working here. It's been the best experience.
Now, Bouchard says residents have taken notice of Public Safety Telecommunicators Week and have brought them in treats like pizza and donuts. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
A conference at Anna Maria College Wednesday aims to help anyone struggling with drugs overcome addiction. Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early was at today's conference. He says the opioid crisis is the biggest social problem in the country and says young people taking an interest in prevention is promising.
One of the biggest things you take out of a day like today is we have so much more to do. We have to work together. We have to work collaboratively, and we have to show compassion to break down the stigma that keeps so many people from getting treatment.
Professor James Derrida says the goal of the conference was to discuss ways to help prevent substance abuse.
It's going to solve this issue. We need to join forces together, and maybe we have a chance, and I think we do.
Seniors in the school's social work program organized today's event. Abby's House plans to expand are moving forward. The organization was issued an $8.2 million tax-exempt bond. It will allow Abby's House to renovate its 53-unit single-occupancy facility on High Street in Worcester. The organization provides safe housing for women in need of financial and emotional support. They have plans to increase the number of housing units and other things like heating, electricity, and plumbing. The building is almost 100 years old. Back in October, Abby's House told us the renovations are much needed. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg facing a second day of questioning on Capitol Hill today. The social media billionaire apologizing for a data breach. Zuckerberg says his personal information was also impacted by the scandal when Cambridge Analytica accessed at least 87 million users' information without their knowledge. But lawmakers say they want more than an apology. They say if Facebook can't protect its users' personal information, Congress may have to pass new privacy rules. Closer to home, a digital marketing firm is weighing in on the breach, and there's some advice for Facebook users on what to do to protect themselves. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
Facebook creator Mark Zuckerberg faces lawmakers in the second and final day of his congressional testimony. The hearing comes after 87 million users unknowingly had information shared with consulting firm Cambridge Analytica.
That was a big mistake, and it was my mistake.
Worcester Interactive owner Chris Dalton says data mining like this has been going on for years. The digital marketing firm says this case has caused controversy because of its political motive.
People are very divided politically, so people feel like their information is being used either against their wishes or for a cause they don't support.
Dalton says Cambridge Analytica used a personality quiz to obtain Facebook users' information. He says agreeing to take quizzes gives companies the go-ahead to access the information.
Every time you do one of those, what's your Game of Thrones house, what's your Harry Potter nickname, whatever, anytime you do that, somebody's getting your data.
Worcester's Cinch IT president Rick Porter says users can see how Facebook uses and tracks their information by looking at their settings.
There's actually an ability within your settings to find out what other apps are using your Facebook information, also how ads are targeting you.
The data scandal has Facebook users in the area wondering if they've been affected.
I'm pretty sure I'm one of them, yeah. I definitely wouldn't doubt it.
And users aren't happy, saying it brings up privacy issues.
That's a complete violation of privacy. I mean, you shouldn't be able to give away people's information like that without their knowledge of it.
I would be scared to go on Facebook. I might not go on for a while.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.